She deserves the justice. Justice needs to be served.
Police releasing images of 40-year-old Kevin Kangathe. He's accused of killing his girlfriend, Maggie Bitu, whose body was found in the central parking garage at Logan hours after Kangathe boarded a flight bound for Kenya.
It's unbelievable that somebody would take a life and flee and think that they're going to go somewhere and enjoy their life after they've done this to the community, to the family.
While police continue the international search for Kangathe, friends and family are mourning and remembering Maggie at her home in Whitman.
She loves to travel. She loves to hang out with her friends, partying, just hanging out, playing games.
It's just wrong that something like this happened to her, at an age of 31.
Friends and family say Maggie was a dedicated nurse and that she'll be missed for her contagiously positive attitude.
We were supposed to be planning celebrations, weddings, family gatherings, not planning this. She did not deserve this.
Around 6:30 p.m. on November 3rd, 2023, the body of 31-year-old Margaret Mbitu was located by troopers with the Massachusetts State Police inside of Logan Airport's central parking garage after an individual reported a dead woman inside of a vehicle. She had been reported missing by her family just 2 days prior. Law enforcement would quickly identify Margaret's ex-boyfriend, 40-year-old Kevin Kangathe, who boldly boarded a flight to Kenya immediately after ditching her body at the airport. The two were involved in a tumultuous relationship. However, Margaret made several attempts to end the relationship. Roughly 3 months after her brutal murder, police would announce the arrest of Kevin Kangathe, who was successfully taken into custody without incident. Margaret's family is leaning on their faith in the wake of their devastating loss and released a statement stating the following: "We are overjoyed by the news of the capture of Maggie's murder suspect. The long hand of the law is finally catching up with Maggie's murder suspect. We have confirmed with law enforcement and the DA of the arrest of Mr. Kangathe in Kenya and are waiting on the next step of extradition and eventual prosecution. We want to thank our friends, law enforcement here in the U.S. and in Kenya, and the community at large for their efforts in the capture of Mr. Kangathe. We are confident that the truth will prevail and that justice for Maggie will be achieved." In a statement, Suffolk District Attorney Kevin Hayden said, "I'm extremely grateful to the U.S. Department of State's Diplomatic Security Service, the FBI, Kenyan law enforcement agencies, the Kenyan government, and the Massachusetts State Police for bringing the person accused of Margaret Mbitu's brutal murder into custody. Their tremendous and untiring efforts will provide Margaret's family and friends the opportunity to see Kevin Kangathe face justice for this terrible crime." Margaret's family says news of Kangathe's arrest is a win, but not the end of their fight. They plan on being in court when he is extradited back to the United States and is expected to have a hearing in Kenya before being extradited to Massachusetts on a murder charge.
A man accused last year in the death of his girlfriend, whose body was found in a car at a Logan Airport parking garage, is now under arrest. NBC 10's Abby Nisgoda talked to the victim's family.
I think right now, Maggie, where she is, I think she's happy. She's happy because this is the beginning of the justice.
Justice for her daughter. It's been nearly 3 months since Maggie Bitu was found stabbed to death in a car parked at Boston Logan Airport, where her boyfriend was then seen catching a flight to Kenya.
Day in, day out, we were thinking about Maggie and all that happened to her.
When we last spoke with the family last month, they were desperate for an arrest.
What we just want to hear is that he's been caught.
This morning, they say that prayer was answered when they got the call that Kevin Kangathe had been captured 7,000 miles away from the family's home in Whitman at a nightclub in Nairobi, Kenya.
Is this a day you ever thought would come?
No.
The family says investigators had recently received a few tips about the 40-year-old's whereabouts, and they were moving in on him.
Every day I was just looking at my phone because they had told us they would call us and let us know.
The U.S. Embassy in Kenya says U.S. and Kenyan authorities worked side by side to locate and capture the fugitive. And the Suffolk County District Attorney says, quote, their tremendous and untiring efforts will provide Margaret's family and friends the opportunity to see Kevin Can Getty face justice for this terrible crime. Her mom says they just want to look him in the eye to ask why.
Of course, we would like to know why, and even the community. Everybody would like to know why.
We've been looking forward to this day since we heard he fled.
A day closer to closure for the family of Maggie Mbitu, the 31-year-old Whitman woman believed to have been murdered and left in a car at a Logan Airport parking garage in November. 40-year-old Kevin Kangete of Lowell arrested in Kenya. Investigators believe he ditched Maggie's body at Logan before fleeing to Africa, soon to face a judge in the U.S. for murder.
We don't speak of him. I got no message.
Kangete believed to be her boyfriend. Maggie's father, Haran, and cousin James say they'll be in court when Kangete returns, making sure her legacy isn't forgotten.
Maggie, she was fun-loving, outgoing, the type to talk to anybody and make them feel welcomed.
I can speak more about her because I'm still on pain about her.
The family thanked local and Kenyan law enforcement efforts, now holding Kangete abroad.
And so now it's just a matter of letting the extradition proceedings go on.
Boston 25 legal analyst Peter Ellikin says it could take months for Kangete to face a U.S. judge, but he will have an extradition hearing in Kenya soon.
They have to show that they've got the right person. He's allowed to bring evidence to show that he's the wrong person. Even though a hearing can sometimes take several weeks before you get to the hearing, it usually is just delaying the inevitable.
A day the family said they expected, leaning on their faith the last few months.
God has not let us down so far. So why would he now?
I'm very thankful for the American government and the Kenya government.
Multiple U.S.-based agencies worked with Kenyan authorities to arrest Kangate. The Suffolk County DA saying, quote, their tremendous and untiring efforts will provide Margaret's family and friends the opportunity to see Kevin Kangate face justice for this terrible crime. The family has relied heavily on their faith, led in part by their pastor, Leah Turner, of the Grace and Faith Anglican Parish.
You know, as a faith leader, I know that justice will be done. Whether if it's not on this earth, it will happen in the next.
Maggie's family describes her as a fun-loving and outgoing person and say her legacy will be remembered while they fight for justice.
Maggie lives on through us every day. She still inspires me, inspires all of us, and she's in our mind and our hearts always.
Mundo